Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do. Okay, everybody, stand by. Coming up. PM. Just Parlays with Chris King. Everyone, and happy Wednesday. What Chris like to say, well, let's have Wednesday tomorrow after we've seen all the picks. But anyway, happy Wednesday so far, Chris. It's good to see you, buddy. And tonight, we got NBA action. We got a lot of stuff on the hardwood, and we got baseball. We got a little bit of everything for everybody today.
That's true. And for those of you that like afternoon baseball, there's plenty of it on. Like we said, there's 2 games going on at the moment. The 7th one that was scheduled, the Royals and Cardinals rained out.
Again?
They'll reschedule that for May 2nd. I guess St. Louis goes Kansas City.
So basically, it's not a day in Missouri. It rained there yesterday. It's been raining there for the past couple days. So
yeah, but I mean, on the plus side, Steve went to go see Santana at a concert last night, so I guess the weather wasn't all bad.
Well, good for him. You got to see Carlos Santana. That's really good. So,
yeah, I was going to ask him if he's going to see Tito Santana and see if he played the greatest hits like against Greg the Hammer Valentine for the Intercontinental title.
That's a good,
Steve did not respond.
He did not respond. Okay, well enough. Well, you know what? Let's take a minute and tell people about one of our new sponsors and people we really like. And they are, of course, DraftKings. Now, DraftKings has a promo for Max Wagers Network, Winners and Whiners, and, of course, our buddies at Picks and Parlays. And what are they going to do for us? Well, here it is. It's easy. Bet $5, win $200 in free bets. Make your first deposit of $5 on any Major League Baseball money line. Now, it's money line. Okay? And win $200 in free bets. Well, here's the deal. You got to use our promo code. Our promo code, there it is. It's WAW, Winners and Whiners video. All the information, show much below, okay? And remember, you have to be 21 years of age, participate, and always, always, always bet responsible. All right? Okay. So we got baseball, as you said, and let's jump to the big board where the Astros. Oops, that's my. Oh, you did? Okay. And there's the Astros. The Astros taking on the D-backs, and this game was played in the desert.
It was surprising. Yesterday was a low-scoring game between these two teams. Final score, I believe, was 2-1. As you saw Garcia and Madison Bumgarner take the mound in that contest. The winning run driven in by Michael Brantley at the top of the 9th. So it was a pitcher's duel all the way. Garcia threw 4 scoreless innings. Mm-hmm. Gave up 2 hits. Bumgarner went 5. Gave up a run on 5 hits. So was the bullpen, and imagine that the Diamondbacks go out and sign a closer. They get Mark Melanson, gave him a bunch of money. And he promptly came out and, lost the game in relief. Hector Neris was a cast-off from the Phillies. Was looking to get the way Ryan Presley pick up his 3rd save. Still not a very high-scoring game. The Diamondbacks were 0 for 7 with runners scoring position. The Astros were 1 for 9. Game at Field.
Right.
By any stretch of imagination.
And you got 2 teams getting hit, too.
Yeah. Today you're going to see Framber Valdez, who's 1-0 with a 0 ERA and a .45 WHIP. He won 1 and 6 in his first outing. That covered 6 innings against the Angels. Meanwhile, Merrill Kelly has no record, has no earned run average, but he has a 1.50 WHIP, 2 walks and 7 strikeouts over 4 innings in his season debut for the Diamondbacks. We talked about the Astros led the league in runs per game last year. They were second on the road. Diamondbacks struggled offensively last season. That's probably what happens when you win, 52 games?
Yes.
Houston 5-1 in their last 6 interleague games against teams with a losing record. They're 5-1 in their last 6 on the road. They're 13-4 in their last 17 against teams with a winning percentage below 400. Does not like interleague games. 3-13 in their last 16 interleague games at home. And I guess they don't like playing at all. They're 0-4 because they lost first at Shane Field after winning these opener. That ninth inning against the Padres where we lambasted San Diego for sticking a guy who made his major league debut in the bullpen.
So, hey, Tim, good to see you there, buddy. Ryan, Bumgarner look good, and the Nats are beating the Braves so far. Thanks for the update. And
it's 2-6. Washington has runners at quarter.
How many outs?
1.
Okay.
So just wait for a double play any over.
Yeah, double play coming. All right. Well,
there. Well, okay. So who the heck is Thomas?
Who's who?
Thomas.
He's not favorite. Yeah, for the he came over in a trade with Carson. He's a young guy.
So he's an ex-Cardinal. That makes like him even less.
Yeah, very
Thomas. Okay.
Max
I'm
Fried.
not familiar with him now.
Ryan says Max Fried is taken out.
Yeah. Johnny Gray has pitched well. He's only hit 5 innings, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. I wonder how long David Martinez will hang with him after throwing 82 pitches to get through 5, though.
You know what? He's a young kid. He's the guy.
Any thoughts on that, Jim?
Yeah, he was the guy who came over in the trade.
Well, Jim is freezing up.
Yeah, he's the guy who came over in the trade for.
Yeah, Josiah Gray, he
came over in the trade for with the Dodgers for Scherzer. Came over in the trade with the Dodgers for Scherzer, along with the catcher and that was a Trey Turner. And he's actually pitched a bit last year. This year's looked pretty good. 82 pitches. My guess is, they're batting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 82 pitches. He may get. I don't know. I don't think he's going to get another inning. I don't think that Davey's going to go. He's in the 5th, right?
They're at the top of the 6th.
Top of the 6th. Okay. Yeah. He might put him out, but I don't know if he wants to stretch him out that far. Hey, Super Sly. Good to see you.
Are you over there? How's the weather over there in Winnipeg? Have you guys got bombed with all the snow yet? Since the Jets don't get to play today because of the weather, I just wanted to see if there was anybody on hand tell us how bad the weather is in Manitoba.
Well, at least he's got internet. That's good. So.
Well, this is true.
Okay, so the Astros beat the Diamondbacks. We got that. It's nasty, man. That's what he's saying. So let's move on from Houston, and now we get the Mariners and the White Sox in a game played on the South Side.
Yeah, the White Sox won yes 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
An uninspiring game as Seattle's bats continue to struggle in the early going of the season. The Mariners 2-3, the White Sox 3-1. They won their home opener yesterday. Vince Velasquez on the mound for the White Sox in that game. I try to make a living out of fading Vince Velasquez because he sucks, but he pitched well enough to keep the White Sox in it yesterday. Today, the reigning AL Cy Young winner, Robbie Ray, 1-0. He won his debut through 7 innings of 1-run ball. Has a whip of 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. He's going to face Dallas Keuchel, who hasn't pitched yet this season. He's 9-9 with a 5.23 earned run average, 1.531 whip, 59 walks, and 95 strikeouts over 162 innings last year. And Jim, let me ask you, what happened to Dallas Keuchel? Remember, he was good for a while. He was young in 2015 when he won 20 games. He won 14 games in 2017. And then he's kind of fallen off a cliff. He went 8-8 with Atlanta in 2019. He pitched well in the shortened season, but then, he already jumped over almost 3.5 runs between 2020 and 2021. Is Keuchel and his control jump watch up at this point?
I think so. I think Keuchel, he's no longer a guy that you count on getting 5 or 6 innings out. He used to be, a 200-inning guy. A lot of it's one of those guys that you knew that you could put him out there every, 4th day or 5th day, and if nothing else, he'd give up a couple runs, but you'd be in the ball game when he left. That's not the case anymore. So, unfortunately,
and to your point, he threw 232 innings in 2015 when he won the Cy Young. He's only gone over 168 once in the last 6 years, and that was 2018 when he threw 204 and 2/3 innings when he went 12-11.
Right.
And the White Sox need him right now because Lucas Molina was playing on the injured list yesterday with an arm strain. He's going to miss a couple starts. A.J. Pollock is on the IL with a hamstring injury. You're down to Dylan. You've got Cope. I don't know how stretched out he is. You've got Lance already talked about.
Right.
You got Arnoldo Lopez, who they can decide whether they want to start him or him on the bullpen. They did sign Johnny Cueto to a minor league contract.
Oof.
I don't know if Cueto has anything left at this point either.
Well, if he ain't on the team, he probably doesn't. Maybe they've got it in Arizona just trying to stretch him out and see if he can throw.
That's true.
Johnny Cueto has never been a good early season pitcher. He's not a cold weather pitcher at all. So maybe that's why he's not there. Cold weather's not a friend of Johnny Cueto's. But
he can't be any worse than Michael Benoit, can he?
No, he's not. Not until now. So the M's have a good day. It'll be a good day for Dave Sims. So,
it feels like we had 8-1 in their last 9 against lefties. I think that's what it was.
I can back up. Sorry.
8-1 on road against left-handed starters. 7-1 in the last 8 against teams with a winning record. 14-3 in their last 17 when their opponent scores 2 runs or less. And the White Sox, they played well in openers and series, but they're just 3-7 in the second game of their last 10 series, dating back to last season. I know the Mariners are a slight underdog here. I just can't trust Keuchel, especially going against Ray.
Right.
You have to think the Mariners should be able to take advantage of Keuchel. Of course, I said yesterday they should have been able to take advantage of Velasquez, and they didn't. Mm-hmm. But you can always hope, right?
That's true. Unfortunately, Angel is not behind the plate there today, so he's in Atlanta on one of the bases. So that's you're not going to get Angel Hernandez in that regard. Before we get to the NHL, which we previewed accidentally when I hit the wrong button, let's talk about our friend at Caesars. Okay, now Caesars Sportsbook has a really cool deal for us, and it's called First Bet Insurance. Caesars Sportsbook gives you $1,100 in first bet insurance. You place a first-time wager up to $1,100, $10, whatever, and you get it back free in the form of a free bet if you happen to lose. Okay, so it's all bet insurance, and that's a pretty good way of ensuring that at least the first time you bet, you're not going to lose. So the deal is you have to use our promo code. All right, the promo code is scrolling right there by it. ATSWINSCZR. Okay. It's in the show box below. Check it out. Again, you must be 21 years of age to play. And also, as we said before, always wager responsibly. And now, to the NHL with only 9 games left to go in the season, it's going to be a game out west with Colorado and the Kings.
Yeah, you got to feel bad for the Kings. They played yesterday. They beat the Blackhawks. Now you can go to the Ball Arena and face Colorado in the wet or up in the altitude. Not to mention the Avalanche have had 3 days off, and you're playing the second game of a back-to-back. Mm-hmm. The Kings have played well on the road this season, but they don't have Drew Doughty. He's done for the year after having wrist surgery, so take that part out of the equation on the blue line. Colorado is dominant on home ice. They're kind of like Florida in that regard, 28-4-3 at the Ball Arena this season. It's supposed to be Cal Peterson, 2013-1 with a 279 goals against, an 899 percentage and 3 shutouts. Starting against Darcy Kemp, 39-3 with 237 goals against, a 9.8 percentage, 5 shots. The big difference between the two teams, offense. Kings don't have a lot of. They're 21st in goals for at 2.84. They're 11th in goals against at 2.83. They're not talking about a big goal difference for them. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, they have 30 goals for it. They're still at 74. They're 4-0 last 15 teams with a win record. They're 48-9 in their last 57 as a home favorite. They're 9-2 in their last 11 on at least 3 days of rest. Kings 1-6 in their last 7 after allowing 2 or less in their last game. They're 1-6 in their last 7 after win. And those last 2 numbers tell you that the Kings don't match up well with the Avalanche. They've dropped the last 8 meetings between these teams. That includes matchups of 4-1, I think it was. Double checking it. 4-1 on January 20th. They lost 3-0 on March 15th. They're 0-4 in the last 4 meetings in Colorado. Now, on the plus side, the Kings are trying to hang in the playoff picture. If you look in the Pacific Division, they currently hold the 3-point lead over Vegas for the final guaranteed playoff spot. The Knights have 1 game in hand. It'll be 2 after tonight. Vancouver 6 points back of the Kings. They have 2 games in hand on Los Angeles as well. And then you've got the wild card picture in the West, where you've got Nashville has 89 points, Dallas has 88 points, So Vegas is facing those two teams. The only good thing that you can say for the Kings is after this, their last 6 games on the schedule, they face teams that are not currently in playoff position. They have Columbus, they have Chicago again, they have Seattle, they have Vancouver, and they have the Ducks twice. So if they get to this one and may steal a point or something, you go on with helping them out, but you have to hope for them that they can make some hay against these non-contenders. But it's going to be rough sledding tonight against a very good Colorado team.
And this game is of the TNT doubleheader. And the first game is this game up, which Danny Albert will be on call for the TNT. So, game one.
The Rangers and the Flyers.
That's right.
Both teams coming out losses. The Rangers had to jump into a tie for the top spot in the Metropolitan Division. They fell to the Hurricanes. The Flyers, I don't know if they even bothered to get on the plane because they were completely obliterated by the Washington Capitals by the narrow margin of 9-2.
Yeah.
So, rough night for the Flyers. Of course, the Flyers have been eliminated from playoff contention, so they're basically playing for nothing. And it showed last night. Meanwhile, I figure they're probably not going to be a whole lot better tonight, facing a Rangers team that is still trying to, hang on to the second seed so they can at least get home ice advantage in the opening round of the playoffs. They're now 4 points behind Carolina for the division lead. But you look, and it's going to be Alexander Georgiev, 12-9-2 with a 303 goals against, an 894 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Taking on Martin Jones, 10-15-3 with a 349 goals against, and an 899 save percentage. Jones hasn't been good all season. It's hard to think that after last night's debacle with the way the Flyers looked. I mean, that game was, 7-1 after 2 periods, something like that. And I figured, you got to turn the lights out after 20 minutes. But apparently they wanted to make it even worse because that's typical Philadelphia hockey. Oh, I'm sorry, it was 5-1 after 2 periods, so it was 7-1 6 minutes into the third. I don't think the Flyers showed up. I don't think they're going to show up tonight. They got outshot 37-21 in that game. They did win penalty minutes, so kudos for that. The Flyers 28 were though at 259. They're 27th goals against. The Rangers 6-1 in their last 7 on the road, 20-6 in their last 26 against an opponent that scored 2 or less in their last game. 45-16 in their last 61 as a favorite. The Flyers just 6-21 in their last 27 after giving up 5 goals or more in their last game. And just to be equal opportunity, guys, they're 5-23 in their last 28 after scoring 2 or less. Basically, like Ryan said, hashtag fade the Flyers. They're basically the Lakers of the National Hockey League. There's no reason to like Philadelphia here. I know it's a divisional game. I know it's a geographical rivalry game. But let's face it, the Flyers have just been putrid this season. I don't see it getting a whole lot better after their no-show last night.
So basically the Mets and the Phillies are playing each other, and so are the Rangers and the Flyers. So it's a good night to be in, rivalries. You've got those two in baseball and in hockey playing against each other. As we go to the NBA story in The Athletic this morning, surprise, surprise, not that LeBron James wanted Frank Vogel gone, but it looks like he's pushing again for about the 34th time for Mark Jackson to be the next head coach.
I'm surprised he's not just pushing for himself to be the player coach.
That's coming soon. But then he would have to take responsibility. So, no, he doesn't want any part of that. So,
then he would just try to get him to trade some of the players. That way it wouldn't be his fault.
And I think Westbrook was kind of funny. He said, I didn't get him fired. He goes, my play might have gotten fired, but I personally did not get him fired. So it's like, okay, well, you're probably close to true on that. So, all right, we got some playoff games.
Quick look around baseball real quick before we go to the NBA. Washington is now 3-0 in the bottom of the sixth. Pull Gray, Kyle Finnegan in now for the Braves, or for the Nationals on the mound. The Mets 2, the Phillies nothing at top of the fourth. New York had pair runners not as Scherzer and Aaron Nola on the mound for those two teams. So a couple of good pitchers.
Yep.
In the bottom of the third, the Guardian 3, the Red Zero. Nobody really excited about any of the people who live in Ohio. The Red Sox, the Tigers tied at 1-4. Looks like Evaldi was on the mound for Boston, countered with ex-Red Sox Eduardo Rodriguez. The Red Sox currently have runners on second and third with 1 out. The Mariners 3, the Twins nothing in the fifth. And, of course, the Pirates, talked yesterday how we thought they might rough up Drew Smiley, and they didn't. Instead, they waited until today to rough up Kyle Hendricks. The Pirates 6, the Cubs 2, the bottom of the fifth at PNC Park.
There you go. So, well done, Flash King. Gives us those news flashes every few minutes with the scoreboard.
Boston just got up 2-1 on a sac fly by Alex Verdugo, and Finnegan just gave up a solo homer to Austin Riley. So it's now Washington 3, Atlanta 1 in the bottom of the sixth.
Oops. Finnegan can throw.
They did it again.
Yeah.
Finnegan's wink.
Finnegan, right. Finnegan can. He's been a pretty decent little pitcher there, but he does have problems with the home run ball at times. So there you go. All right, so let's go to hardwood and to the NBA, where the association some playoff ramifications going on tonight. And these games can be seen, both games, don't matter, ESPN. Hockey's on TNT tonight, folks, and ESPN's got the basketball.
And baseball's on pretty much every other channel.
Yeah. Baseball's on the MLB Network, which has the Braves and the Nationals, and the alternate game is, hang on a second, I'll tell you what the alternate game is.
Probably the game of the Braves and the Nationals.
The alternate game is the Red Sox and Tigers.
Yeah. So a more entertaining game than the Braves and the Nationals, except tired of seeing the Atlanta Braves on TV.
Yeah, what a shot. The Braves on TV.
Pretty much.
Oh, here we go. And
Brian
by the
said
way,
he
the San
can't
Diego,
for LeBron.
San Diego
He's
and
looking to
San
go where he can retire and go away.
Yeah. San Diego and San Francisco, or Houston versus Arizona, is the 3:30 game on MLB Network. So.
Now, there was a lot of controversy in San Diego-San Francisco game last night, Jim. I don't know if you saw anything about it. Apparently, Mike Schilt, former Cardinal manager, coach for the Padres, ran his mouth and caused a bit of a stir in San Francisco yesterday.
Yeah, he did. That was a very entertaining and interesting situation, too. So,
yeah, it led to some history, too, because, you had...
new first base coach, a young lady who was
Alyssa Nacken.
Yeah. It was funny, the players actually, when they got to first base, every player who got to first base, shook the hand of the, of the new first base. So it was a very interesting and entertaining evening from that standpoint. And it was good to see. I mean, you've got a manager who's now managing in the Florida State League for the Tampa Tarpons, and which is the Yankees Florida State League team, and now, we got, as you say, Mrs. Knack at first base coaching for the Giants. And she was even wearing that fog uniform that they have, which I still can't figure out who came with that idea. You have no idea.
Yeah, these Skinny Connect uniforms are weird, and it's honest.
Yeah, the one Nationals have this over the weekend. It has the WSH across the, it's gray-ish. It's got WSH across the chest, and it's got cherry blossoms around it. And it's a cool uniform. It's interesting, but and then it's got the old gray and white hat, which was more of the Washington Senators. So a little bit throw, although they did steal it from the Capitol. So there's
let's give some credit to Sean Higgs when he was on yesterday. He said Darvish struggled last year at Giants, and boy, Darvish came off that 6-0 hit inning game against Arizona opener. He got absolutely lit up here.
Yes, he did.
9 runs on 8 hits for the pair of walks, 2 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3. Yeah. That game was over for me, so kudos for that.
Yeah, and it looked like they were playing T-ball.
It was 6-0 if inning. It was like, so much fun. Don't say anything. Yeah, instead of changing the channel on the old MLB TV there, because it was just when you got right down to it, wow, I didn't waste time watching that.
Speaking of wasting time, here's the Hawks and Hornets playing each other. Right?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup here. Both teams 40 and 39, so how about that?
Well, Atlanta has the good Bogdanovich, though.
That's true. Kind of like Cavs and Nets.
Yeah, exactly.
They were both 44-30 going into yesterday, so. 21 on the road, the Hawks 27-14 at home. both teams are good offensively, and they're both bad defensively. So this is going to be interesting. They split their 4 games in the regular season. Hornets fourth in scoring offense, 115.3. Their 11th field goal percentage, 46.8. They're sixth in 3-point shooting. They're sixth in offense, 113.9. Seventh in field goal percentage, and 37%. They're second in 3-point shooting. Like we said, both teams bad defensively. Atlanta's slightly less bad. 21st defense at 112.4. 23rd in field goal percent defense at 47.1. 25th in 3-point defense. The Hornets 25th in scoring defense at 114.9. That Tim's homer bias because he's from North Carolina and he has to root for somebody from the state since he won't root for the Hurricanes. Hornets 20th field goal percent defense, 23rd in 3-point defense. Atlanta 6-0. Their last 6 is the favorite. Earlier, so they could cover anything. They're 9-0 against spread. Their last 9 at home against teams with a winning road record. They're 4-0 in their last 4 at home. 7-2 against the spread. Their last 9 overall. Quick injury report shows Gordon Hayward, and he played, one down the stretch. He's out. Won't be until late April if they get that far. You know, the Hawks, you won't see John Collins, who's been out since March with a sprained ring finger and a strain. Also, Lou Williams, who, when Williams was a good sixth man.
Yeah.
You know, he's gone to Atlanta and basically done nothing over the last few years. He's a good 10th or 11th guy, sitting at the end of the bench next to the water boy.
It looks good in picture.
There you go, because he doesn't check when you get right down to it. Look at how far it's dropped. It's quite jarring when you look at what he did. I mean, the fact that, he's 35.
Right.
I mean, he averages 13.9 points a game in his career. Just 2 years ago, he averaged 18 points a game playing for the Clippers. The year before that, 20. Then, he went to Atlanta down the stretch last year. There were 10 points a game after getting traded. And this year, he averaged 6.3. Yeah,
I got better knees than he does, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, his field goal shooting dropped off a cliff. Yeah. He shot 39.1% from the floor. I don't know. It's concerning. I guess he probably won't be a factor in the lineup next season. I don't know if his contract runs through next year or not. No, apparently he'll be a free agent.
Well, Tim wants us to know he's not a Charlotte fan. He's a Nuggets fan. So full clarification.
Well, that's right. I know Tim's a Nuggets fan.
Good to know, Tim. We want to make sure that we get it right for you, buddy.
I did forget that he got his Jamal Murray jersey signed.
Well, that's nice.
When the Nuggets were in town a couple weeks ago.
There you go. That's nice.
Murray hasn't played all season, but speaking of Tim, any word is whether Murray's going to show up in the postseason or Porter Jr. or are both those guys going to miss out?
I haven't heard anything about that.
I mean, I know Murray was maybe, but I'm not sure about Porter Jr. They talked about, it could be back in March, then it could be April, and they heard it. So I thought Tim's a Nuggets fan might have heard something that might miss.
You said about Otto Porter Jr.?
The Nuggets.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody likes Otto Porter. My son didn't like Otto Porter when he played for Chicago and Washington. And of course, now he's Old State riding the grain train over there.
This just in from Tim Merle to Timmy. Porter Jr.
Because the expectation was Murray was going to be back at some point. Porter Jr. on the back is a full thing when you have surgery on it, so I wasn't sure about him, but I appreciate the information too.
John H. says Atlanta's about to smack them boys up, so he's on your side here.
Well, I hope so. It's not like I have a great affinity for one of these teams. I think that Atlanta, plays some semblance
one of them has to win.
Defense.
Yes.
As long as they play some semblance of perimeter defense and don't let Oubre and all those guys shoot uncontested threes like it's practice, they should be okay, especially playing at home and with Trae Young. We saw what Trae Young could do in the playoffs last year. He carved up the Knicks. Other than their season, one more game. Of course, the winner of this one will face Cleveland on Friday for the right to be the 8th seed and face the Miami Heat.
There you go. All right, from Atlanta and Charlotte, we go out west.
We don't get to go too far. We get to go to the East.
Well, let's see,
it's west of Atlanta.
It's west of Atlanta by about 250 miles. So, okay, we got that.
Yeah, so we got the Pels and the Spurs. Let's just, before we, sink anybody, let's kudos to the Pelicans. They started the year, 1-12 or something like that. And they made the postseason, so they don't necessarily make noise from here, but they made it there, so.
And they're playing well because George Shin is trying to angle for another new building. So there's that. I don't know. They built 3 of them for him. One in Charlotte, and one down here. And then there's a second building that they've been playing basketball in. So I don't know where he wants to play, but it's Pelicans playing in what I was a pretty nice arena. I guess he just like it. So this is the night that Pop's team decides to exit stage right. Is that what we're looking at?
That's my thought process. I know the Spurs, happy to be here, mainly because the Lakers.
They want a participation trophy.
Yeah, mainly because the Lakers, faded and fell. We've talked about that quite a bit over the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Spurs are 8th in scoring offense, 113.2, 14th field goal percentage, 18th three-point shooting. New Orleans is decent defensively. They're 13th in the league in scoring defense. They give up a high percentage from the floor, though, 47.1%. They're below average offensively. New Orleans 21st, 109.3 points a game. 23rd field goal percentage defense, or offense, I should say, 27th three-point shooting. It ranges to 27th three-point shooting, despite having C.J. McCollum now. I figured their number would have gone up some, but he can only do so much. Meanwhile, Pop's team, you expect them to play defense. They don't. Current scoring defense of 113 points a game. 19th field goal percentage defense, 20th three-point defense. Pop's team was to run, and that's something that we've talked about before. That's not really their bag. You don't expect San Antonio to be a top 5 team in the league in tempo, like they are, averaging 100 possessions a night. It's not really what you want to see out of them, really. In report shows Doug McDermott out. They say he could be done for the rest of the year. I don't know if it counts if they make it to the postseason. Actual 17 series on. He's out with an ankle sprain. Romeo Langford probable. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, Carl Lewis is out. He's been out since December with a knee injury. Zion, everybody about how he was going to come back and play. Well, guess what? He's still out. He's played a grand total of 0 games. So kudos to him for getting paid for playing 0 games.
Right.
Puts him up there with John Wall and Kawhi Leonard. Other guys get a whole bunch of money for doing nothing.
James wants to know if it's wide or the Spurs in the first quarter. They're bad. No, they don't. They start okay, but the problem is, Chris, you said that they, tempo some, but they don't have talent to play tempo.
Granted, you guys got DeJounte Murray and Lynn Johnson and guys, but they're not a team that you want to see run and gun. I mean, like we said, we talked about it all season long. If you look back at tempo for Spurs team under Popovich, last year in the middle of the road, they were 15th. The year before, they were 14th in tempo. Then they were 22nd. Then they were 28th. Then they were 27th. 2015-16, they were 24th. They were 17th. 2013-14, they were 10th. You have to go all the way back to 2012 to see a team that was nearly ranked as high as this team is at pace when they were 6th. But here's the difference. That 2012-13 Spurs team that was 6th in tempo averaged 84.2 possessions a game. This year's team averages 100. That's not op style ever had been. When you look back at these Spurs, 9 possessions a game, they don't average 88.4, 88.8, 88.5, 88.9. 89.2, 90 in 2002-03 when they won the finals over the Nets. So you're talking about, 6-7 straight seasons where they're averaging 90 possessions or less, and now you're running at a 100 possession a game clip. That's not. The Spurs aren't a track meet type of team. They're a team that plays good half-court defense. They like to run the screen and rolls and things like that. It works for so long with Duncan. I think they can probably play the same kind of style of Podol. I mean, he's not as effective of a shooter as Duncan. He can crash glass and stuff, too. I don't get where Popovich is going unless this is like saying, okay, well, screw you guys, I'm done after this season. I mean, what's he got left to do? He already owns the wins record. He's got rings. What does he have left to accomplish in San Antonio?
This just in, Shaw is still a perfect game through 5 innings.
Well, I mean, he faced the Twins.
They're on scholarship though. They're still.
No, that's true. I mean, I will grant you that.
So we got Clayton Kershaw throwing a perfect game through 5. Trust me when I tell you, he will not be there much longer. They would like to have him.
54 pitches.
54 through what? Through 5?
Through 5. The weird part is he's only thrown 54 pitches and he's got 9 strikeouts.
Okay, so but he's okay. They're in the top 6. Okay, 2-0. Hey, maybe he will. Let's see. We'll keep an eye on it.
The sad part is that they only have 3 runs because they're 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, they were bad the other day in Colorado with getting guys home.
That's true.
Anyway, all right, let's go to the money.
We talked about the hockey games already. We talked about Colorado over the Kings. The Kings are picking this game back-to-back here.
The Brew Crew.
Colorado rested there at home. I just don't have a ton of faith in the Kings here. And then we have the Rangers. The Flyers have made it given up. You have to think that they're done at this point. The Rangers need this win to keep pressure on Carolina and the Metropolitan. To distance themselves away from Pittsburgh and Washington, who are battling for the 3rd seed now at the moment in the division. I think the Rangers should take care of business rather comfortably here. Then we go with the Brewers and the Orioles. Hey, look, Milwaukee won a game yesterday.
Corbin Burns and John Means. Burns for the Brew Crew and John Means for the Birds.
Yeah, I'd like to think that Burns can bounce back from the way he pitched at Wrigley. Means he pitched well against Tampa Bay in that was it a 2-1 game or whatever.
Yeah, it was 2-1 they lost the opening game.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that Baltimore can put up enough runs in that contest there. And then we've got we talked about Atlanta and Charlotte. I just don't have a ton of faith in the Hornets. I don't like them. I didn't like them before. I like them less now. I think Trae Young will probably go for 30 or 35 and 12 assists or something like that. He'll carry Atlanta on his back to the. I mean, what do you call the second play-in game for the losers? Do we call it the toilet bowl or what? I mean,
this is really play-in 1. Play-in 2 is the next one. So it's amazing. Nathan likes the Orioles for the first 5. That may not be bad, Nathan, but you know.
Well, I thought you were making it the Orioles to put up runs on Burns.
Or the other way, you're looking at Means keeping the Brewers from scoring.
Which is possible because Milwaukee has looked all the great when it comes to things so far this season.
And the weather's not going to be too bad tonight in Baltimore, so it's not going to be brutally cold or anything like that. Oh, it's intriguing. The first 2 games of that series has gone very strange. So, it's hard to project what's going on tonight. But anyway, for the show.
Yeah, we talked about New Orleans. I think they're better at San Antonio. Hobbs is probably going to keep running. The problem is they don't stop anybody on defense. And the problem when you miss a shot and you run at that pace is you give up a lot of transition buckets. That's not something you want to do with a team like New Orleans because you've got McCollum out there. Inside, you got Valanciunas and Ingram. Those guys can do damage in a hurry. And San Antonio, the last thing San Antonio wants is this for to be a 125, 122 type of game. I just think New Orleans playing at home is the better team in that one. We talk about White Sox. I can't trust Dallas. I think that Tommy Ray will keep Seattle in as long as the bats can do something. When we know they haven't of late, you have to think that Seattle can pull one out in the Windy City. I continue to ride Tampa Bay. Of course, they got blown out on Monday night. Then last night they won, 9-8, 10 innings.
They won in extra innings.
In a game where 2 guys that nobody ever heard of started on the mound. I know Romero struggled. I know Aller last one inning in the 3rd or an inning in 2/3, and then he was on. So Shane McClanahan and Frankie Montas. He's not traded before the game because there weren't rumors that he was going to be traded to Philadelphia or something.
Yeah.
And then Houston over Arizona. I like the way Valdez pitched in his first start. Kelly pitched decent in his first outing, but Arizona doesn't score a lot of runs. That's.
Daryl wants to know what you think about the Spurs and the Hawks game from the standpoint of going over. Okay, hang on, Daryl. We're about to get to it.
He's in a farm system for pitching, but they traded away all their hitters. And they traded Olsen and Chapman, and they traded Medea. Montas is probably going to be next. You have to think, I saw that in the Fangraphs projection for win projections. The A's dropped 10 wins off their projection after they made all those trades. Well, you're in good shape with the Red Sox because they're up 7-1 now in the fourth. As long as Evaldi and the bullpen hold up, you should be in good shape there. You have to look at the Yankees. I actually think they need Toronto tonight. I don't have a ton of faith in Jose Barrios after his first outing. I'm sure he'll bounce back. I just don't know if he'll bounce back tonight. And obviously, I'm on the Astros here, so you should be in good shape, hopefully.
Daryl's got a good deal going. All right, so time to go for the menu, as you said before, and shot in the park. And as we tell you all the time, it's pick any two, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. You know,
the fun part was that you just paid attention to hockey part of the menu yesterday. We had, I'll pull up my own copy of the menu because I have it. Man, I have a copy of it on my own computer.
How about that?
In the hockey part of the menu yesterday, we gave you the Kings over the Blackhawks. The puck line was plus 175. Gave you the Wild over the Oilers. The puck line was plus 180. We gave you the Devils over the Coyotes, and the puck line there was plus 170. Gave you the Senators straight up on the money line over the Red Wings at plus 105. And just played those 4 games alone, would have turned $100 into over $4,000.
Just saying. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Kings won 5-2, the Wild won 5-1, the Devils won 6-2, and I went down Detroit 4-1. The rest of the board may have sucked, but that's not my fault. Some of those games didn't turn out the way I expected. Looking at tonight's board here, for the Mariners and the White have to go under 9. Seattle's gone under the total in 4 of 5 games this year. We only saw 5 runs on the board yesterday. I mean, we might get to Keuchel for a few. I just don't see it getting to the point where it's going to be 6-4 or anything like that. I'm going to go with the Giants over the Padres. That game is supposed to be Logan Webb, the Giants against Sean Manaea for the White Sox, or not the White Sox, sorry, the Padres. Manaea pitched well in his debut. I'll give him that. Does anybody have a ton of faith in the Padres bats right now after the way they got shellacked yesterday? I personally do not, and that's why I'm going to go Giants in a low-scoring matchup there. I like the Yankees over the Blue Jays. I mean, we saw Barrios get torched by Texas in his opener. He has an ERA of under 8 right now. Now, Garrett Cole had his struggles early against Boston on opening. They were given 3 in the top of the first. I expect that the Yankees will claw out a win in that one. I also look for it to stay under 8. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. You look at the first 2 games in that series, and they've been low-scoring. Well, I think Toronto won 3-0 on Monday night. Tuesday night, Yankees won 4-0. So 7 runs combined in 2 games. Seems we could be a trend.
Liverpool.
Yeah, Jim, I've heard you on this.
Yeah, Liverpool and Man City win. I think you're in good shape there, Daryl. I don't have any line figures on it, but they should win. Both those teams are good enough to pull through.
Man City's playing Atletico Madrid.
Right. And who's Liverpool's playing? An Italian team, I think.
Benfica.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're safe for the 2 Premier League teams to move through the Champions League today.
Yeah, I see they're up 3-1 in aggregate scoring for the first leg. So, what's interesting is in the FA Cup on Saturday, those 2 teams will play each other, Man City and Liverpool.
Yeah.
That extends my massive knowledge of the sport of soccer.
There you go. We're getting Sean Miller starting next week. We'll have soccer 4 to 5 every day. So there you go. This is in for our budget. Ryan Page and Super Slide with Portuguese. Okay. I think in Kershaw, Perk through 6.
And he's now up to 69. He struck outside in the 6th. So he got 12 strikeouts. He's only thrown 69 pitches. So the Twins must just want to get the hell out of there. I don't know what the weather is in Minneapolis this afternoon.
It's never warm.
Because, I mean, you're talking about he threw 15 pitches. Okay, it's 36 degrees in Minneapolis right now. So they must just be going up there and, hacking at anything so they can get back to the dugout and warm up because 69 pitches and you fanned 12 guys. I mean, that's
That's not contact.
Yeah.
That's Kershaw 5 years ago.
Yeah. I'm going to look for, Daryl was asking about the NBA. I look for Charlotte and Atlanta to go under 234.5. You look at the recent totals for those teams. Let's take a look here because I don't miss myself. Atlanta had 4 straight unders before beating Houston in the finale. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these teams have ended up under the total. The lone exception was a 130-127 Charlotte win back on December 5th. I just look for this one to be a little bit better defensively and keep things in check. Also looking for the Spurs and the Pelicans to stay under 224.5. I know in three of the 4 meetings this year. Let's see, what were the totals in these games? In the meetings this year, we saw the teams combined for 209, 238, 215, and 210. 7 of the last 8 of the last 10 meetings between the teams have stayed under the number. I don't expect anything to change here. On the ice, Columbus or Montreal straight up. I think that should be upper hand. It's the Samuel Montembeault ball for the Canadians because Jake Allen apparently done for the year with a groin injury. Columbus, Elvis Merzlikins, and then I also look for that to go over the total. I think that one's going to be, like I said, over the should be better. And the Rangers and Flyers come out. The Flyers go up 9 yesterday. It's kind of hard to have a ton of excitement in this one. Look for the Rangers to put up at least 4 or 5. Put that one over the total. And the Kings and the Avs to stay under 6.
What do you think of Andrew? Andrew's got Man City, which is not bad. It's on the money line. He's got over Detroit and the Mets on the money line.
Well, strike ball, they're at 8 right now in the 5th, so it is for them to put another run on the board somewhere.
Yeah, they got plenty of time to do that.
And the Mets are up 3-1 in the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to the top of the 5th now.
And he's got the money there too.
Yeah, so
he's in good shape.
Yeah.
So there you go. And we got one more clip. What do you think about the Astros, Mariners, Alex, Rangers? Well, you're heavy both of those.
Yeah, I got the Avs and the Rangers as a 2-teamer. I like the Astros. I wouldn't worry about Seattle, but I think that Ray has a better matchup than Keuchel does. So I think the Mariners could get the win over the White Sox.
And he likes the under on Pelicans.
Definitely the under. Safe way to go. Like we said, 7 of the last 8 out of 10.
So, boys and girls, any final questions here? A couple quick things to get to. Number one, we still are giving away that free book on baseball. All you have to do is go to watch below. It's a really cool book. It gives you all kinds of interesting information on all the teams, and it's very, very helpful. So by all means, take a look at that. Also, while you're down there, if you want to get Chris's plays, you can do that. They'll send them to your email box every day. All you have to do is read the information and fill out the form in the show box below. So, and while you're down there, check out the good stuff from both DraftKings and, of course, Caesars, our 2 wonderful sponsors. Before we get out of here, by the way, folks, also hit that like button, subscribe, and please hit the bell, because that way it'll let you know when we are doing stuff all the time. Brian Major is thinking of doing the Astros Mariners Rangers, and we got another one here, Chris. We'll get there. So, boys and girls, thoughts on what you might be watching tonight?
I'll probably check out the Rangers game for a while until they really blow Philadelphia out, and then I'll try the NBA playoffs. Since, like we said, almost all the baseball games started early, so it makes it kind of tough to watch any good games tonight. I mean, the Rays play, at 6:40, and Milwaukee, Baltimore at 7:05, Yankees or Blue Jays are at 7:05, and the White Sox and Bears are at 7:10. So, not a ton of baseball to choose from tonight. Not a ton of hockey. So I hope you guys stay warm and keep your power and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I know how fun it is to deal with massive amounts of snow. My favorite story when it comes to snow is talking about Christmas Eve of 2001. We went to bed, there was about 3 inches of snow, and we woke up the next morning, and there were 7 feet. Trying to drive down the New York State Thruway in a snowstorm when you have to roll down your window and stick your head out to try to see because the wipers can't keep up with snow.
Right.
It's for entertaining times.
Yep.
But definitely stay safe out there. Hopefully this will pass through relatively quickly and get back some good weather.
Hey, thanks, Andrew, Ryan, and Nathan, and James, and the entire gang who showed up today. We greatly appreciate it. And show up tomorrow, because we're going to have some fun stuff going on with you tomorrow. So,
and just remember, guys, there are only tomorrow. We have to wait until Friday for the rest of the Crapathon tournament to determine who will end up playing as the 8 seeds.
And if you want to, Chris, because I know you like to do it, you want to run through the scoreboard one last time before we leave, that's fine.
At the end of 8 innings in Atlanta, the Nationals hold a 3-1 lead. So they go to the 9th with an advantage. They're in the middle of the 7th now. The Dodgers 3 and the Twins nothing. So we'll see Clayton Kershaw come out, probably strike out another 55 guys before the game's over. Top of the 5th, the Mets 3 and Phillies 1. The Mets have Francisco Lindor with 2 with Pete Alonso at the dish. Let's see. The Red Sox lead 7-1 and halfway home in the Motor City. Cleveland now up 6-0. The extra point was blocked over the Reds at the bottom of the 5th. And unfortunately, at PNC Park at the top of the 8th, the Pirates lead the Cubs 6-2. Hey, at least yesterday.
Yes.
Suzuki with his first multi-team homer game yesterday. As he accounted for both runs in a 2-1 victory for the Cubs at PNC Park.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thanks for dropping by. Any final question you got up that we haven't answered, Chris? You see anything from you? Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks very much for joining us. Remember, everything starts at noon. You know, our midday money show with Sean Higgs, who dropped by yesterday. We always appreciate it. He's there, Timmy Earl. He comes by here. We'll have to have him drop by when you see him. Then it's Alan Burns.
Nick never knows because he's in class.
Right, exactly. He's got the old Rodney Dangerfield. You know, call me when you don't have any class. Anyway, there's Allie Burns, who does have class. She's on at 1. We follow her at 2. Then Scott and Scott come up at 3. And then Lenny, Tim, and the aforementioned Nick show up at 5. And starting next week, as I said before, if you're a soccer fan, you can have one of the best in Sean Miller, who is at the game in Manchester today. So he's writing the story for a number of New Jersey newspapers. And so you can just Google Sean Miller soccer, and you'll be able to read his reports from Manchester, where he's covering Champions League. All right. So that's coming up on the Max Wagers Network, everybody. Okay. So have a great day. It's a lot on, and we will see you tomorrow 2 p.m.
Well, Kershaw's got another strikeout.
Okay. He's hitting there. All right. So I'm gonna let us get off so that we can all jump on and see what's going on with Clayton. All right, boys and girls. Have a great day, Chris. Thanks, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow.